All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to, I guess it would be just a little impromptu market update. Adam had been getting some people inquiring about, trades and upcoming trades and when we might see trades and such. And, we have a lot of new members that come into the Profit Machine weekly. And so I recognize that most of you hearing or watching this video right now are probably veterans, been here a while, and kind of really know the game a little bit. Know that sometimes we're making a lot of trades, sometimes we're not making any trades. But ultimately, if there's one thing our veterans know is that we are picking and choosing our battles, and that we are waiting for the best of the best trades, not just trading for the sake of trading. However, again, if you're new coming into the service, you might have expected one thing and, not getting that. So kind of want to talk a little bit about, I guess what goes into the trades and why it's not as simple as it seems for all of you that might be newer to the service, and just make sure we have the right expectations. And what I want to lead with is something that's very important to understand about the lack of success that the typical retail trader has. All right, there are many causes, many reasons, many common traits of those that are failing in the market. Most of us do fail in the market. 85, 90% of us fail in our trading endeavors. But a very common one that is always ranked close to the top is that in the retail trading public, we tend to overtrade. All right, in other words, the market's open. There's this feeling like I've got to be trading. Something's moving, everything's moving, somewhere there's money to be made, I've got to be making that money. Combine that with the ever so common Monday morning quarterbacking. Yesterday the market was down, I should have been short something and made money. Today the market was up, I should have been long something. Okay, this idea that somehow because that thing happened that I need to be trading in the future because it might happen again. That Monday morning quarterbacking over trading combo. Okay, so neither of those things are a part of what I do. Okay, I think any successful trader will tell you that successful traders aren't trading all the time. As a matter of fact, successful traders, a common trait, a commonality between them is that they commonly take breaks. For any number of reasons. Sometimes things just aren't going well. You need to take a break and come back with fresh eyes, as they say. But more often than not, what we all need to be honest with ourselves about is that we don't always know what the market is doing. Now, first off, I guess we never know. But when I go to make a trade, I feel very confident in that trade I'm making. I know what my expectation is. I know what I thought the market was going to do. I know what I thought the stock was going to do. Obviously, there are times where we don't know those things. So just by default, we should not be trading all the time. That's like going up and saying, just because I'm at the plate and the pitcher is throwing a ball, I have to swing at it. Would anybody agree with that statement? Probably not. Okay, some pitches are better than others, right? And then there are really, really good pitches. And those are the ones we want to swing at. And you know what? Even when we swing at all the really, really good pitches, we still don't always get a good hit, right? My point is, even always trying to make the best trades, it's still pretty hard, right? We still take our losses. So the one thing I want to warm everybody up, more of a teaching/coaching moment here, is understanding that we shouldn't be trading all the time. Okay, if you are trading all the time, in all likelihood, you're losing money in the market. Okay, we're not day traders, and again, probabilities say the more often you trade, the more likely you're losing money. Okay, we want to pick and choose our battles. Most importantly, we want to have a plan, which I do. Okay, again, all of you veterans probably know what that plan is. They probably could do this webinar for me. Okay, but I have a very strict, defined plan of what I'm waiting for, and I like to wait for the best of the best trades and for everything to line up for the best trade possible. If not only because I'm making these trades myself in the Profit Machine, but more importantly, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of members in the Profit Machine. So I would put a trade on there, hundreds of thousands of dollars are going into the market. It better be good. Right? So I thought I'd shed some light on kind of what it is, maybe just kind of putting the pieces together for those of you that are newer or maybe aren't familiar with kind of what I do, okay, or what it is I'm looking for. What you have to remember is for lack to be blunt, I don't care what it is you're doing, okay? No offense, but if what you were doing was working, you probably wouldn't be in the profit machine, right? So whatever it is you're looking at, not relevant to me. What's relevant to me is what I am doing, and I am very disciplined in doing that. Now, real quick, if you're new to the profit machine and you have not watched the profit machine tutorial in your member section, you should not be making any trades in the profit machine unless you have watched it. 2, you should be watching as many of my MarketCast calls on Monday and Friday mornings as you can, whether it be live or on the replay, all right? Because this stuff is covered pretty commonly, all right? And you'll start to get used to it. You'll become one of those veterans that gets it. And you won't be emailing when we take a week off. You'll probably be happy when we take a week off because apparently I must not have liked everything I saw, okay? So there's any number of things. I mean, first and foremost, when I'm identifying stocks, what I'm trying to do is identify what I think are the key levels to trade off of, the important prices that I think matter to a stock. So for example, UNH just happened to be on my screen here, but there are a couple levels that I deem important here. For example, the 250 level has now been tested twice. The 240 level has been tested as resistance a couple times and now support a couple times, counting, okay, yesterday. Okay, I was tempted. Okay, I looked at making this trade, but oops, another thing that I look for is the market condition. And certainly yesterday, a little skeptical on the market. All right, so sure, we could have went long at 240, but if the market's dropping further, odds are UNH is going to break down too. Okay, you can see the 230 level. Look at the 230 level tested as support, 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 resistance, 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 right? More resistance, more resistance, more resistance. I look for these levels that seem to really stand out for a stock. Okay, ones that really matter. So when we break through the 230, odds are we're going higher. Okay, not only in swing moves, but overall it has went higher. Okay, some of you may remember Visa, right? We were talking about this very important 125 level that started to show itself. Once we broke through, look what became support when we were above it, the 125. Look what it has done now. Okay, so I'm looking for these important levels. We can go on and on and on, but the common trait of every stock I'm looking at is there's going to be this price, this level or multiple levels that I'm waiting for. And more often than not, I'm waiting for the breakthrough, whether it be up or down. Okay, and then I'm waiting for it to preferably pull back to that level as a new support on a breakdown or as a new resistance on a breakup or a new resistance on a breakdown. So not only am I trying to find stocks where these levels exist, I'm usually trying to wait for breaks of these levels, that, breaks where we hold, right? Intraday, not that important, right? Look at BABA. 2 out of the last 3 days, it's peaked its head above 200. That's why I didn't jump in. Now, our veterans know that. They know exactly why I didn't get in BABA yesterday, because it's very rare that I will buy on an intraday break. Because first off, I need to have some sort of confidence that we're breaking through, and then I still want to get in it back at 200. A lot has to happen there, okay? And more often than not, I won't do that because I want to see us actually close and hold, okay? Notice how neither time could BABA hold. So thanks to me not making that trade, none of you lost money, okay? So I'm waiting for the hold of the level and then a pull back down to that level, okay? Or again, on the reverse side, a rally back up to it. Then I want to see the market line up. Now, market kind of was thinking up. Then yesterday happened where, again, very tempted because both the S&P and the Russell came down to next level of support. Okay, and there were trades to be made. Sure, UNH at 240, EA, we talked about that today. Back at the 130 level. Look at that 130 level, continues to hold. So the trades were there, okay, but honestly, for lack of a better phrase, I just wasn't really confident in what the market was doing. Okay, and I would ask you as a member, do you want me to be confident in the trades I'm making or not confident in the trades? Do you want me to make trades just for the sake of making them and hope for the best? Or do you want me to make sure everything lines up? Okay, so it's a combination of a lot of things. I need to not only feel like the market's holding, but also going to head in the right direction. Okay, a one-day bounce, sure, we could have called that yesterday, but we're not day trading here. Okay, and most of you, okay, I don't want to send out an alert saying we're buying, and then by the time you get there to buy, I'm already sending out an alert to sell. That's what the Friday profit's for, okay? We want to make sure not only that the market is, holding a certain area or whatnot, but we want to have some sort of confidence that it's going to head in the direction that we want to. And there were opportunities yesterday, absolutely, okay? When oil came down to our trend line of support, look exactly where it bounced. We could have looked at USO. This was for those of you that are ETF members, right? Look where USO bounced. Certainly not going to argue that there were opportunities there. That's why I always tell all of you members, hey, if you like the market, sure, this is exactly where I get in this, or this is exactly where I would get in that. Okay. I was looking at XOP this morning at 42. When it pushed back above 42, oil got its bounce, followed through. By the time I got the alert together, we're at 42, 57, 40. You know, for an ETF member, I'm waiting for 42 if that's the level I like, right? So yeah, I think oil is going higher. Yes, I think the XOP is going higher. But let's go back to point A, which is I'm waiting for my level. Okay, so I want everyone to see here how it's difficult to get everything to line up the way that I want it to. Now, let's talk about, well, why does 42.50 matter versus 42? Okay, again, I recognize you veterans already know this. Okay, why does 131.88 matter if you think it's going to go higher? Well, first off, just because we hit 130, does it always mean we're running into 135? Okay, look at last week on Thursday, we hit 130, but we only ran to 132 and change. If I got in right here, how do I know? So what I want to do is increase my probabilities of being able to get profit, even if something like that were to happen. Secondly, here's the bigger issue. Okay, why do I wait? Why am I so strict on making sure I get in at that 130? Well, if I get in here at 132, okay, think of it as a stock trade. How do I know this trade is went against me? In other words, how do I know I'm wrong? If it falls to 131, no, nothing wrong with that. It's done that a bunch of times in the last 3 weeks. If it falls to 130, no, that's exactly where I'd expect it to bounce, like it did yesterday, 2 days before, the week before, the week before. I don't know I'm wrong, in other words, until we break below 130. And it's not as easy as saying 129.94, right? Probably got to fall to 129, 128, right? Before I start thinking, uh-oh. And then, you know what? I'd really like to see us close below the level, because look back here. Okay, we went clear down to 128 there, 128.02. We were $2 below the level, but look where we closed. We held 130 that day. Okay, so notice, okay, not only on the entry side, but look how difficult it is to know when to get out. But more importantly, if I get in at 132, but I'm not going to get out unless we hit 128 or lower, I'm risking $4 in that trade. In an options trade, I'm probably risking getting completely wiped out, aren't I? But if I get in at 130, I'm cutting that loss, potential loss, in half. In addition, I'm increasing the profit potential by double or more. Okay, because if I only think it's running to 135, $2 of that is already gone. So there's $3 left. If I get in at 130, I've cut the potential loss in half, and I've increased the profit side by at least double, depending on the strikes we chose. Right? Okay? So if you're a new member or newer member, I want you to see the reason why we're not trading all the time, first off, is because good traders don't do that. For lack of a better phrase, good traders don't trade all the time, not as swing traders. It isn't always a good time to trade. Okay? And part of that is what I've just went through today, that I'm waiting for a lot of things to line up. Okay? Now, when you look at our track record, okay, a lot of things need to line up, but look at our results. Okay, we started this service back in November. Okay, so only 7 months in, we are up $27,000 in a service where we've never had more than $4,000 at work. Okay, we put $2,000 into each trade, roughly around $2,000 in each trade. All right, and to the best of my knowledge, I've never been in more than 2 trades at once. Try to make it so that if you only have 5,000 or 10,000, you can still take part in these trades. As the tutorial states, if you have a smaller portfolio, you probably shouldn't be putting $2,000 into each trade. But the point is, we try to make this service accessible to everybody. Now, members that have made these trades that are trading 10, 20 contracts, putting $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 in each trade, in 7 months have made $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. Okay? If we continue to do what we're doing, we will be up somewhere around $50,000 to $60,000 at the end of our first year, having never put more than $2,000 into one trade and $4,000 into the market. All right. My point is this: we're not getting these results because we're throwing caution to the wind. Okay. We're being very meticulous about what we're doing, disciplined about what we're doing, and if we're simply, if we don't see what we want, we just don't make trades, okay? Now, that being said, let me be very, very clear. I want to get all of you in as many trades as I can, but I'm not going to put you in trades just for the sake of making trades, okay? Just because the market is up, there's probably a lot of you listening to this right now thinking, I got to be making money, right? You're feeling the emotional pull, the gambling effect. I don't feel that at all. I could care less if the market's up. I would have been more likely to make a trade yesterday when it was down, expecting the bounce off of supports than I would be today, okay? So you kind of have to temper that. And a lot of the things I'm mentioning today, okay, rework the idea. Yes, I want to get back to making as many trades as we can that fit into my cookie cutter process. I need to do this, 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 this. There are times, like a couple weeks ago, we put 2 trades in a row, Baidu and EA back to back, through $6,000 just like that. Okay, and didn't have to trade 100 times to make it. Okay, so my belief will be that there will come a time where everything lines up perfectly. We'll make 2, 3, 4, 5 trades in a week. Okay, but we're going to be patient. We're going to wait for our moments. And as you can see with our track record, when we are, things pay off nicely. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email or something. The biggest thing I'd recommend you do, again, as a new member, if you have not watched the tutorial, you need to watch it. But more importantly, okay, if you want to become one of those veterans I keep referencing that understand the service, that are making a lot of money in the service, these are members that are catching my MarketCast calls Monday and Friday religiously, whether it be in the morning, whether it be live in the mornings, or they're catching it on the replay. All right. Now, quick overall thing with the market, just to wrap it up. I mean, today looks pretty good. Looks like we're going higher. I'd like to see us hold this move. And then if we do, then I'm going to look back at my list and look for maybe stocks that have captured levels to hopefully then pull back to them. So for example, I'd like to see Costco finally hold 200. Okay, again, notice how 1, 2, 3 out of 4 days, okay, had you chased it like most retail traders would have done, you probably took a pretty nasty loss, or you're sweating it out, hoping it comes back, and here you are a week or two later and it still hasn't. Okay, waiting for that hold. Okay, back here, resistance. Okay, we're waiting for that hold. Talking about BABA, I'd like to see it hold above 200. Okay, a lot of stocks I'm watching all the time, watching the market all the time. You don't ever have to worry about whether or not I'm looking for trades. I'm always looking for trades. Okay, but I want to make sure that if I put you in the trades, that things lined up perfectly, and that they're the best of the best that we could put out there. Okay, still like Baidu. A lot of you veterans and people that have been a part of this already know that. Obviously, sandwich between 240 and 245. You can see the support back here, the 240 level back here. Okay, looking to see one of these 2 breaks. So I can go on and on and on. My point is, have no fear. We're waiting for trades, waiting for the best trades. We're watching LVS today. Does it actually hold 80? Sure looks like it. Great. If it does, we'll look for that pullback. Don't be surprised to see an alert that says 80. Okay, I don't know what strike we'll buy. We'll pick it at the time. All right. So hopefully that sheds some light. Hopefully those of you that hadn't caught the tutorial will, and hopefully some of you that weren't on MarketCast calls will realize the importance of catching those calls. All right. Otherwise, looking forward to making some trades. See you guys Friday morning. Take care.